Hey, Jory. I'm so sorry I'm a little bit late.
Hi.
Is Joe already here?
Yeah, he's been here for several hours. Said that he needed the whiteboards for something. Just makes me a little nervous about how he's talking.
Really? Why? What's going on?
Well, the last show, he went all Kris Kringle on us.
Right.
And the entire studio was like a Santa's workshop.
It's true.
And remember last season how he wanted to be an actor? And what about the season before? He wanted to be a pop star.
All fair points, but remember we talked to him and he said his midlife crisis is, that's all behind him, right?
I hope so.
Guys!
Hey,
I've had a breakthrough.
Joe.
Come in here and see what I've developed.
Breakthrough.
Come on, hurry up.
Right.
We don't have much time.
What?
Come on.
Hey, what is all of this, Joe?
I'm ready.
Ready for...
Head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
But you're a Hall of Fame basketball coach.
Coaching X's and O's, it's all relative.
But Joe, you know that football has 11 players, right? And these look like old basketball plays.
That's exactly right. Nobody's ever used this strategy on a football field. That's why it's going to work.
When was the last time you even watched football, Joe?
I watched football last Sunday, and I watched the Browns, and I took a lot of notes. Defense needs to box out better. Way too much traffic in the painted area. No screens in the press breaker.
But Joe, you wrote press break on a football game.
Yeah, but the Browns, they're just a little ways away from winning, and all they need is the right coach.
You're telling me that you're gonna coach the Cleveland Browns using all basketball plays, Joe?
Yeah, look at this. The league will never see it coming.
That would be a pretty Browns move.
Yeah, but Joe, what if this method doesn't work?
We practice, and we practice more.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Pittsburgh's gone to the Super Bowl. Here we
30-42 backside blitz.
What the heck?
Oh, come on! What are we doing? Blue 41! Hut! Jory! I said you have to use your back. You back up into him, then you open up the lane. It's a new technique that we're using.
Yes, coach.
Do it again? Again. Ain't no way I'm doing that again.
Berardi! Get in here and show them how it's done.
Yes, coach.
We're here with Travis Berardi.
Hi, Joe.
Our resident expert on league play. So we're going to talk about several leagues here today. And let's start on the girls' side. Maybe
Ladies first.
Start with the area that we covered, which is the KMAC.
Yeah, the KMAC, and this is more of a wide open conference than we're used to. You're thinking Centerburg, Fredericktown always battling the last couple of years. Well, there's a couple new names. Taylor Tackett, now the head coach at Northmore. Actually, you just saw their game against Centerburg. They're up there. You have Centerburg, you have Fredericktown, like we said, you have Northmore now up in the mix, and then you have Loudonville, who came over a couple years ago. That's been right into it. But two teams with two losses coming into tonight. That was Loudonville and Fredericktown, and then atop the KMAC, both with one loss, was Centerburg and Northmore. So it's very wide open going into that second half, and we started off tonight in the first place battle between Northmore and Centerburg.
Yeah, I mean, it's highly unusual that you're able to lose two games in the first round of the league.
Yeah.
Still be in the hunt for a championship. So that's going to be an interesting race here as we get to the first part of February and get to the end of that KMAC race.
And it's going to actually, I think, benefit these teams as well because they're in the lower ranks of the OHSAA. So you never know. You may see multiple teams at least win sectional championships, but also contend for district championships just because of the battle they've been going through in the conference. And on Monday on the podcast, Jonathan Langdon even said one of his warm takes was there may be a 3 or 4 loss team that finishes atop the KMAC just because of those 4 teams up there.
Yep. Let's go to the Firelands.
Okay. The Firelands, it's a 2-team race, I believe. We've seen the Mapleton Mounties, a new team on the OH Report. We've had the Lady Mounties on there a few times so far. Brian got a chance to see them last night. But they're a team that will turn you over. They're a team that's fast. They have some really good players inside and out. But they got a battle with New London. New London, a squad that last year they were contending, but they got blown out in their district play. But we were talking to one of our sponsors for that game. They said, just watch out for next year. They're really good as well. They handed Mapleton its lone loss in the Firelands so far. But I think that second time around at Mapleton will probably determine who's going to win that conference. It's a two-team race there. New London and Mapleton, but both, I think, have aspirations of winning district championships.
So let's go to the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference.
The MOAC, and a team that broke a state record for threes and a quarter. I mean, who doesn't love the three-pointer? I know Scott Sellers loves the three-pointers because the Clear Fork Lady Colts sit atop the conference undefeated. They finally, got that elephant off their back a little bit by knocking off Shelby at home. I think that's the second time ever that Scott Sellers has defeated Natalie Lance. But I think that's the race. Once again, it's going to be between Shelby and Clear Fork. Can the Lady Whippets get them at home? I mean, Clear Fork really has not been able to play good basketball at Shelby. So it's, I think, again, a 2-team race. Maybe Pleasant as well. Pleasant got knocked off pretty well by both teams, but you never know what they can do. I've seen them over the last 2 years. They have the chance of maybe being that spoiler in the conference. Well,
and Shelby, I think they play several freshmen. And I got a chance to see them at the shot clock shootout, and they turned it over a lot.
Yeah.
But they play extremely hard, and I think that's a team as we get to the second half of the year with freshmen is going to get better and better.
Absolutely.
So that matchup would be a great game to see in the area when Clear Fork has to travel to Shelby.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the Northern 10.
And that's another kind of open race. We just saw it live and free over the weekend where the Cary Blue Devils knocked off Crawford for Crawford's first loss in conference. That's a 3-team race. You got Winford, despite losing Brooke Frombaugh seconds into the season at the Barn Ball. They have the Sheldons. They have 2 Sheldons, and we both know how good they were going to be, but they're helping out this team. Very good guard play at Winford. Able to hit the 3. They're right atop the race right now, halfway through the season. 3 teams just with one loss. It's Cary, who beat Winford. It's Crawford, who Cary beat.
Yep.
And then, like I just said,
and
it's
Winford goes to Crawford, I think, to start the second half of the league on Saturday. There could also be some teams in there because the game that I did Winford at Upper Sandusky. 1-point game.
Yeah.
Upper Sandusky, a lot of tradition there, playing some young kids. So although a team like Upper Sandusky isn't probably going to win that league, they could be a team that could help decide it.
And we talked about them on the podcast as well, where a kind of disappointing start, but they played so many close games. It reminds me of the Buckeye Central teams the last couple years, where in 1 or 2 possession games they were like something like 2-10. And it's just, Upper Sandusky just needs to find that one more stop or that one more offensive possession, and they could be a spoiler in the second half.
And we look at the Northern 10 over the last, 2, 3, 4 years, been extremely competitive in the girls as far as teams that have played. So there's some tradition there of teams that have won in that league and maybe have lost some seniors. Now they're playing younger kids, but the second half of the year are going to be much, much better. Yeah, it should be throughout all these conferences we talk about. I believe there's going to be some upsets, as always, that you don't think. I mean, go back to on the boys' side a couple of years ago where you thought it was going to be Seneca East and Crawford, but then Cary comes in late, and we have that 3 or 4 team tie. Yeah, I think we had a 4-team tie 2 years ago. I believe it was.
I could be the KMAC this year on the girls' side, but I think we're in for a very entertaining second half of these 4 conferences.
Well, let's jump then to the boys' side, and we'll kind of go in the same order. Let's go with the KMAC first.
KMAC, I mean, you saw it live and free last night. Fredericktown they find ways to win. I mean, they're so balanced. You and I were just at practice on Monday, and I mean, we thought they would be the favorites in the KMAC, and so far they've been able to check everything off the list. They went to Mount Gilead, got into foul trouble, but still were able to pull away late in that game. They're at Northmore. You know, it's a tough place. The Castle, I've been to the Castle a lot. It's a tough place to play, but they were able to take care of business in that second half, turn Northmore over a lot, a young Northmore team, and get the victory there. And then they beat Danville 63-49 on their home at Fredericktown against a Danville squad that they're really good as well. It's I think it's Fredericktown and Danville that will be for the top of the conference. Danville's already knocked off Northmore as well. Northmore, Mount Gilead, I think they're going to play for that third place spot, but I think it's Danville and I think it's Fredericktown. I think both of those teams, they have a legit shot at winning district championships this year. But Fredericktown, they have to go up to Danville. That's a small court. You play on Danville's floor, they can play their own game. I think it's going to be a lot closer outcome than it was the first time.
Well, in Fredericktown, they kind of dominated that KMAC on the boys' side, and they had you look at their schedule, they had a tremendous win over Harvest Prep in non-league, so their team is confident in. And I had a chance to see them play Clear Fork, and I think their starting fives might be as good of a starting five as we have in the area. I mean, you have Gavin Toombs, but the guy that's played really well for him the last couple games is Zane Luckmeyer.
Yes.
He's been outstanding inside, like a 6'2", to just really, really strong. So they have great balance. I think if we're betting money, Fredericktown's going to be the bet.
Yeah, they're about a -500 right now to win the KMAC, but it's just a very good Fredericktown squad this year. And they had them the last few years, and then they just slipped in the district tournament. But I was looking at the Central District. It's split up into two. You either go to Bowling Green or you go back down to OU in Athens. And I thought, okay, maybe Harvest Prep, maybe Apra-Centric. Those are the two teams in D5 that would be the favorites. But then I looked at Fredericktown's schedule, and they knocked off Harvest Prep. So now I think you may see Fredericktown go away from Apra-Centric, but then teams go away from Fredericktown as well. So they're probably the favorites to win that district.
Well, let's jump to the Firelands.
The Firelands, how about Jake Furr's Plymouth Big Red? Out there at the top of the Firelands Conference right now, Crestview, coaching change, a lot of graduation. They're down this year. So who was that team that was going to stand out in the first half and really, get that momentum? It was Plymouth. You got two other teams with them. You got Monroeville, who Plymouth knocked off in a high-scoring affair, 75-72. And then Chris Sheldon's Western Reserve Rough Riders are back at you, only one loss as well. So I think it's a three-team race as well. Western Reserve, their loss, I think the Monroeville was by 10. They still have to play Plymouth, I think, one more time before getting into the second half of the season. But I think it's another three-team race. I think Monroeville and Plymouth, that's probably going to be for the conference championship unless Coach Sheldon's squad can knock off one of those, and then we'll have a three-team race. Yeah,
I mean, you mentioned Crestview, and it kind of worked with Ben at Crestview a little bit. They've lost some really close games.
Yes.
So they
could be that spoiler.
Although they're not going to probably be, but they could be a team that could help decide it. But you look at that league. That league is probably as balanced as any league that we've seen this year. I mean, Monroeville having a really good year. I mean, they lose at the Hoosier Gym on a last-second play to a very good Willard basketball team. So that's going to be an exciting conference as they wrap up, I think, here this weekend, maybe wrap up the first round and get into that second round of league play. So let's jump to the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference.
Now, I said this on the podcast. One of my warm takes was the Shelby Whippets will be in contention. They not maybe at the top of the conference, but in contention for an MOAC championship in the last week and a half. But they have to knock off Ontario, who's undefeated, and they have to knock off a very good River Valley squad. Don't let their record deceive you. River Valley's played some really, really good non-conference opponents right now, but I think the Shelby Whippets, you're telling me Braden DeVito comes back in his first game, puts up 30+. He just adds to that squad that has a couple other scorers, those football players out there that they're multi-sport athletes at Shelby, and I think they'll be in the consideration, but I believe it's going to be either River Valley or Ontario to win it.
Well, Ontario's off to a great start, 11-0. You can't deny that. But you take a look at River Valley and you go, River Valley's 6-4. Here's their losses. ONTNG Berlin, Jonathan Alder,
Yep.
Bishop Watterson, and then they just got beat by Toledo St. Francis.
Yeah, those are pretty good teams, right? Probably going to win this or championships there.
So big game at Ontario on Friday night.
Yeah.
You can kind of determine, I mean, the winner of that game really controls their own destiny. But again, then you talked about Shelby. Shelby lost to Ontario and Galleon early in league play.
Yep.
Braden DeVito comes back. Here's what they've scored in those games: 66, 70, 70, 63, after only scoring 50 and 42 against Ontario and Galleon. So
yeah.
Braden DeVito's a difference maker.
He opens up the offense.
They're going to decide some things. They could get back in the hunt depending on, they're going to maybe need a little bit of help, but man, they're going to be a tough team to play here in the second half.
And I'm interested to see how Ontario does. They're undefeated for a reason. They beat the teams they're supposed to, but look at the records of their opponents.
Yep.
A Shelby team without DeVito, they beat a Galleon squad. That's still, aside of the fact that they're undefeated, they're playing really good basketball right now. It's just interesting to see what they do against River Valley. If they knock off River Valley, they're for real.
Yep.
If not, they're still
they're still going to be for real. But the thing that I've always liked, especially, I think every conference that I coached in, we always played that double round. And the interesting thing is, if somebody beats you the first round, those teams pretty well. You're going to make some adjustments. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see how teams adjust to playing Ontario in the second round. Also, what adjustments Ontario makes in that second round.
But they've got a really good squad this year. It looks like it's a Joe Balogh squad back there again in Ontario. But that's going to be. I believe it's going to be a two-man race, but the possibility of a three-man race.
Yep. And so Northern 10.
The Northern 10. I mean, I don't want to mark it down already because Coach Sheldon would probably wring my neck. But the Eagles are for real once again. Yep. You and I saw them make that tournament run, and we knew they would most likely be back on the court at Bowling Green this season just because of what they have. They knocked off. I think they have one of the best small school divisional wins in the whole state, knocking off Margaretta at home, and Margaretta squad that might be their only loss of the season as well. Crawford is the team that's for real this year.
And they play Seneca East this Friday.
Seneca East still only with one loss.
Seneca East with only one loss. So that's going to be a big game because if Crawford wins, they have a two-game lead and haven't even got into the second half of the league play. I mean, a couple things for Crawford will be, they came off football. They played, I think, 7 games, I think maybe in 17 days, something like that. And then eventually, those guys might hit a wall. So you got to kind of be, Coach Sheldon will do a great job, this staff will do a great job, making sure you find that balance of how hard do you go, and because they're still going to have a bunch of games, much like Shelby's going to have a bunch of games here in January. You wonder how the health is going to be a big concern. You got to stay healthy, injuries, avoid sickness, those kind of things. But as usual in this area, conference races, they really shape up, and probably here in about 3 weeks when we talk again, we'll have a lot better ideas who's going to be sitting on top of those.
And if I can mention just one more team of a conference we kind of covered, it's the Hillsdale Falcons.
Yep.
I saw them 2 days before Christmas against Smithville, who's undefeated, state ranked, a favorite to win their to WCAL. Took them to overtime, nearly erased a 7-point deficit in overtime to win that one. But the Falcons, they go down to Florida for a holiday tournament and play in the championship. They went 2-1 down there against some good competition. So I believe another team off of our conference radar, but they have a chance to win.
But the team you got to beat Wayne County is Norwayne.
Norwayne as well.
I forget what they might have like a 30-game league winning streak. So they're the team that you're going to have to knock off to win that league. But you're right. Hillsdale had a great season last year and kind of finding their way now this year. I think they're 5-3 overall, 3-2 in the league. So Wayne County League's always a special league too for small schools. Yep. So, well, thanks, Travis. All right.
Hey, we got some football to watch on Sunday and Monday, right? Yeah, our teams are still in it, right, Brian? Yeah. Okay. Appreciate it as always, Joe.
Yeah. Thanks, Travis. It's been quite the turnaround for the Ashland girls basketball program under the tutelage of former high school and college standout Renee Holt, whose Lady Arrows went from winning just 11 games over her first 3 seasons to an 11-0 start this season after handling Mansfield Senior tonight in OCC play. I had the chance to stop by Arrows Arena for a practice session with Renee's squad to see for myself what has Ashland in the driver's seat for a second consecutive conference crown. We're here with Renee Holt, head coach of the Ashland girls basketball team, and many people may remember you as Renee Stimpert. I mean, that's what I remember you as. Great career at Crestview High School just down the road. Great career at Ashland University. But as we start these coaches' interviews, I always kind of think about. It's always interesting, I think, for our audience to hear about coach's background. So let's first talk a little bit about your experience of playing at Crestview High School, but then also maybe talk a little bit about the experience, because I think you grew up on you've grown up on a large family farm too. So maybe how that influenced you here.
Well, as many people out there know, growing up on a farm is just different. You know, you get out in the morning, you get out in the evenings, you work hard. Every day you have something to do, you have chores to do, and you know, I look at my brother, what he does every single day. He teaches, he comes and helps me coach, and he goes home and he helps my dad, you know, raise a bunch of cattle, a bunch of pigs, and crop farming. It's an everyday thing. So he really inspires me to just keep pushing, keep going.
So looking back at when you played at high school basketball at Crestview, how did maybe that discipline kind of help you as a basketball player in high school?
Well, if you talk to community members, they'll hear about the concrete at Stimpert Farms, and you know, once you played on the concrete, I don't think you ever want to come back some days. I had 3 older brothers. I had a dad that had an awesome career at Crestview, and they taught me everything I knew. But on concrete, you know, it's blood, sweat, and tears, literally blood, sweat, and lots of tears growing up. And you know, ask anybody. That's where I learned how to play and play tough.
Well, so you had a great career at Crestview, decided to come to Ashland University and play. Maybe first talk a little bit about what made that decision maybe easy to come to Ashland and play.
I love my family. I'm a big family-oriented person. I love the farm. I didn't want to go very far from home. So having an opportunity to play at Ashland University right down the road and have my 90-some-year-old grandparents watch me play, it was just a dream come true. And I love to win, so it was a winning program I stepped into. Well,
and you play for I guess we're going to call her a legendary coach, because she's going to be, if she's not a legend already, she will be, and Robin Freylake. Maybe talk a little bit about that experience of playing for her at Ashland. And I believe you only lost 4 games in your entire career there. Talk about that experience a little bit.
Robin, along with Tim Freylake, I know he was an Ashland guy, they just wanted to win, and they did whatever they could to win. 2 of the best coaches I've ever played under, and they loved each other, they loved the game, they loved their team. They did it the right way.
So you finish your career at Ashland, and great that you decide to become a teacher. You become a 6th grade teacher here at Ashland, and you immediately take the girls' basketball job. Talk a little bit about that decision, because it's not like Ashland girls basketball was on the top of the mountain.
There's a lot of different decisions, to make that final decision, but I love the game so much, I wanted to take on the challenge. I stepped into it with an open mind. I had girls that wanted to grow, and yeah, it took a couple years, but to see the success it is now, and a lot of people looked over this program. We won our first conference title in 30 years, first district title in 46 years. Nobody talked about Ashland High School girls basketball, and to see it what it is now, it's just, you look back on it, it's just like, this is a cool experience to be a part of.
Well, that was good, kind of leads into my next question, because I think in your first 4 years you win 20 games, you lose 66.
I hate losing. That was a rough time.
And I guess maybe talk a little bit about that, because when you're in a situation like, as a player you won, and you won at a very high level. Talk a little bit about those downs, and then as you kind of progress, maybe the ups of what happened through those 4 years.
Honestly, Joe, coming in, there was a lot of growth personally. I came in out of an elite college program, and I wanted that standard, but I knew that some of these high school girls are just on the team for fun. So I had to take a step back after a couple years and realize I have to make it fun by also juggling. These girls, some of them will go on to college, some of them won't. And juggling and having that balance, looking back now, I'm glad I took a step back, and it helped me grow as a coach.
Talk about coaches. I mean, I know Coach Fraley's got to be you've already mentioned, a major influence. Anybody else, like in your background, that you kind of leaned on to kind of help you with getting, especially those first 4 years, getting through those 4 years?
Coach Fraley, definitely. Coach Pickens, I can't leave her out. She coached me those last 2 years. Amy Sheldon over at Winford, she's just a basketball legend in this community. And she helped me along with, becoming a mom, becoming a coach, becoming a teacher, and balancing all that. My mom, my dad, my circle, I keep it tight, and I think everybody in my circle, they believe in me, they trust me, make the right decision.
Before I get to let's talk about you brought up family. How do you, I talked to you before, you have two children now. Youngest is 5 months, the oldest is
2.5.
2.5. And one of the things, I think it's different as a male coach to try to balance family life. How do you balance family life right now? Well,
my husband's my go-to. He has to understand the basketball world. It's, every day. And those games, those long bus rides, it's long nights. So he's at home with my 2 kids, and a 2.5-year-old and a 5-month-old. That's a lot. Yep. But he's been my number one supporter. But also my in-laws and my parents, they help a lot with my kids, especially if my husband is working long hours. So those people in your circle, they're important to have if I want to continue down this road.
Final question. We talked about the first 4 years. Last year was kind of that breakthrough year. Pretty much bring all those girls back. Watching practice today, a lot of energy in the gym, a lot of excitement. Talk a little bit about this basketball team this year, what you like about it, and maybe even allude a little bit to last year, how that kind of breakthrough year came.
I think last year was a lot of surprises. I honestly didn't know where we would end up. The year before we were 9-14, and a lot of things were up in the air. But I finally have a team that bought in defensively, bought into my language, my philosophy. And this year, it's filled with expectations. I think a lot of people are expecting us to win the conference, expecting us to win the district, and I'm telling them game by game. Okay, one game at a time, and we're not there yet. And I always say we're training like we're number 2, because we're not number 1 yet.
Well, I think we can hear in the background here is you kind of got that program going, because you have some young ladies in here with your high school players, getting them excited about basketball. That's great to see. So on behalf of the OH Report, thanks for taking the time to do this. Wish you guys the best of luck as you continue.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
All right. Ashland currently holds a 1-game lead over New Philadelphia in the OCC title race. And the two will meet at Quakers Gym next Wednesday night, likely to decide a conference champion. Let's take a 30-second timeout for a quick message from our sponsor, Buckeye Horizon.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
It's been 3 weeks since I nominated 8 players for our first Coach B's Ballers. And after adding up all your votes, here is your first winner. Congratulations to Maya Bryant of Fredericktown, who scored 18 points and grabbed 12 rebounds in a win over Danville at the Devil's Den. You are the first baller from Season 4. Now, let's meet this week's nominees for Coach B's Ballers. Our first nominee is Addison Hess of the Mapleton Mounties. Addison filled up the stat sheet in the Lady Mounties' 58-40 win at Crestview on Tuesday night. Addison scored 23 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, and dished out 5 assists in this Firelands Conference victory. The Mounties currently 10-2 overall and 6-1 in the Firelands Conference, 1 game out of being on top in the conference. Our second nominee is Marquise Johnson of the St. Peter's Spartans. Marquise was playing above the rim in the Spartans' 66-27 victory over Lucas in the Cub Cave. Marquise threw down several dunks en route to a 17-point, 5 steals, and 3 block shot performance. The Spartans are currently 2-3 on the season and will travel to Crestline this Friday. Our third nominee is Brooklyn Carter of the Danville Blue Devils. Brooklyn was dominant inside in the Lady Blue Devils' 37-36 win over their arch rival East Knox Bulldogs at the Dog Pound. Brooklyn scored 17 points and grabbed 9 rebounds as the Blue Devils won for the first time this season. Danville travels to Mount Gilead tonight, looking to build off this big win. Our fourth nominee is Lowen Ferguson of the Hillsdale Falcons. Lowen was dialing it in from long range in the Falcons' 65-47 win over the Northwestern Huskies. Lowen scored 21 points with 5 threes, and he also dished out 4 assists. After a postseason Christmas trip to Florida where the Falcons went 2-1, they went on the road to Rittman last night and won 79-40. Hillsdale is currently 5-3 on the season and 3-2 in the Wayne County League. Our fifth nominee is Sidney Mobley of the Big Walnut Eagles. This big-time Division I recruit was dominant in the paint in the Lady Eagles' 54-37 win over Akron St. Vincent St. Mary. Sidney scored 19 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and added 3 block shots in this non-league win. With the win over Delaware Hayes last night, the Eagles are currently 6-0 in conference play and 7-4 overall, and will travel to Westerville North on Friday and then to Owen-Tangy on Saturday. Our sixth nominee is Wesley Payne of the Danville Blue Devils. Wesley led a balanced Blue Devil offense in his team's 76-32 win over the Cardington Pirates. Wesley had 13 points, which included 2 and 1 3-point plays, alongside with dishing out 7 assists. With the 68-23 win at Loudonville last night, Danville stands at 7-2 overall and 5-1 in the KMAC, 1 game behind league-leading Fredericktown. The Blue Devils host arch rival East Knox on Friday night. Our seventh nominee is Caroline Sheldon of the Winford Lady Royals. Caroline was clutch in a recent 43-42 road win over the Upper Sandusky Rams. Caroline scored 16 points and dished out 4 assists, but most importantly went 4 for 4 from the free throw line at crunch time. The Lady Royals currently stand at 11-2 and 6-1 in the Northern 10, tied with Colonel Crawford and Cary for the top spot. A key league matchup happens this Saturday as the Royals travel to Colonel Crawford for an afternoon matchup. Our eighth nominee is Peyton Baker of the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Peyton was locked in from long range in the Eagles' 74-39 win over Cary on Saturday night. Peyton knocked down 5 threes for 15 points in this N10 win. The Eagles are currently 7-0 on the season and sit on top of the N10 at 4-0. Crawford has a key league matchup on Friday as the Syndicate East Tigers at 5-1 in league play come to the Eagles' nest. Our ninth nominee is Avelina Wagner of the Buckeye Valley Barons. Avelina was dominant on both ends of the floor in the Lady Barons' 55-10 win over Whitehall last Friday night. Avelina scored 18 points, had 4 steals, and added 4 assists to her stat line for the night. The Lady Barons are currently a perfect 13-0 on the season and sit on top of the Central Buckeye League at 7-0. Buckeye Valley travels to the Columbus School for Girls on Friday night. Our 10th nominee is Zane Luckmeyer of the Fredericktown Freddies. Zane was dominant in the Freddies' 59-41 win over Northmore at the Castle last night. Zane scored 18 points and he went 7 of 9 from the free throw line as the Freddies claimed the outright lead in the KMAC. Fredericktown is currently a perfect 9-0 overall and 5-0 in the KMAC. The Freddies will entertain the Trojans from Centerburg on Friday night. Just like we always do, our nominees will be put up for a fan vote in their own video posts to determine who will be our next baller of the new season. Now I'll send it over to Brian in the butcher shop as he prepares your top cuts.
Thanks, Joe, and welcome inside of the Butcher Shop, everybody. We're one full week into 2026. Are you still keeping your New Year's resolutions? Me? Well, of course. Mine are always the same, to bring you the absolute 10 best individual plays captured by our cameras every single week. And this was a tall order because it's been a few since I saw you last. I had plenty to sift through, but I assure you, these are my 10 favorite. I narrowed them down, and they're coming at you right now. Our first top cut happened just last night. Sophomore Addison Hess running the point for Mapleton. She will spin and dishes out an absolute dime to fellow soph Kenzie Hellickson. Collects the hoop plus the harm. Lady Mounties knocked off Crestview inside of the Cougars' den for a 10-2 start, with the versatile Hess running the show. Just before Christmas break at the Falcons' Nest, Kale Lewis was setting down defenders with the bounce. The junior can't drill the jumper, but follows his shot off the rim with the athletic finish. A second look will show Kale tie up the defender's feet like an oversized pretzel, then basically jumps over him for the Hillsdale putback. Freddyburg round one, top spot to KMAC on the line, and Kenley Farrell about to go sky dancing down the lane for a pretty two. The senior guard had a huge night, propelling Centerburg to the dub, spinning like a propeller for top play number 8. From the mountaintop, Winford's Caroline Sheldon was getting saucy with the handles before she will step back, chuck up a deep three, splash right through the bottom of the net. The talented junior made some massive free throws in crunch time to win this game, but makes my list with the eye candy from long range. Buckeye Valley still undefeated in this play by Aveline Wagner, bottles up wide in one action-packed clip. Coast to coast, and as she burns through 3 defenders for the uncontested layup. It all starts though at the other end with the lightning quick hands and no need to speed up the clip. Wagner is just this fast with the basketball, going end to end for the Barons bucket. State-ranked showdown between unbeaten Saul Margaretta jump on Colonel Crawford early, and speaking of jumping, Julian Washington got some serious pogos in those legs. Completes the still and stuff. After this excellent anticipation, the future Toledo Rocket got the hang time to hush the home crowd. Less than a second remaining in the third quarter for Danville, and Kenzie Stotts about to make the catch and throw up a Hail Mary, and guess what? It's answered! Drains the desperation 3 to give the Blue Devils a lead going into the fourth. They would go on to beat rival East Knox inside the dog pound by a single point, with this wild shot helping Danville win their first game of the season. At number 3, Fredericktown has breached the castle. Blake Sipes darts inside the passing lane, and he will smash down a one-handed dunk right in front of the cheerleaders. Awesome read here by the Freddy signal caller to run away from the Knights. They sit alone atop the KMAC at a perfect 9-0. As we crack the top 2, let's revive the great Bill Russell in the form of Big Walnut Sydney Mobley. Nasty swat, plus the presence of mind to keep the ball in play. She covers a ridiculous amount of space from the weak side of the action for the emphatic block and the save. But at number 1, we go hunting with Marquise Johnson inside of the Cub Cave. Snatching possession, and he flies the other way like an airborne virus for the sick, nasty slam. This was one of 4 dunks on the night for the St. Peter's senior, who turns the theft into a pair of emphatic points for your top cut of the week. So there's my top cuts of the week, and I stand behind them. It was not easy to narrow it down to 10, but I really love that we had 4 stills that went the other way for big-time baskets, 3 of them dunks, including my number 1. But was it yours? Did I get it right this week? Let me know in the comment section below. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout for a word from our sponsor, Buckeye Horizon, but when we come back, we're going around the arena with Fredericktown's Gavin Toombs.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local trained comfort specialist.
With a convincing 18-point win over rival Northmore last night, Fredericktown stands alone atop the KMAC standings with an undefeated 9-0 record overall. Leading the way during the Freddies' early season success is senior forward Gavin Toombs, who at 6'5", 230 pounds, is being recruited as both a basketball and football prospect at the college level. I had the chance to get to know this multi-sport standout, as you'll see on this trip around the arena. All right, we're here with Gavin Toombs of the Fredericktown Freddies, and Gavin, guys are off to a really good start. So as one of the things we like to do is kind of find out a little bit more about our players. So I think one of the things that I think any player that has, I mean, you played football, you played basketball, had success in both. Who's like been who people have been a big influence in your career?
I would say my parents, especially my dad, with my basketball career, just because, he was a basketball coach and I've always been in the gym or had a basketball in my hand, so I would say that kind of helped me, shape me into the player I am today.
So you had a lot of success in football, you had success in basketball, and then maybe talk to our audience a little bit about what might be like a typical day this past summer dealing with that football and basketball, the demands in one day.
Yeah, so I mean, typically you're gonna wake up early in the morning and you're gonna go to your football lifting and conditioning, and then right after usually we have a basketball workout we'd go to, and then or sometimes we have the little kids camp that we have to work, and then after that it's really they let you Fredericktown does a good job of getting the stuff done early, and then the afternoon you can hang out with your buddies, go swim, do whatever you want to do in the summertime.
Well, let's talk about a few fun things, maybe. You have a favorite like pre-game food that you go to for every game? Especially you guys are on a winning streak now here. You haven't. Yeah. I'm not going to jinx you. You haven't lost yet, so you have anything?
We try to go to like Chipotle or something once a week. Us and a couple of the guys, and just sit and eat food. I don't know. It's a good time.
I'm going to ask you this, but whatever answer you give me, I'm probably not going to know the song or the artist, but is there like any song or artist that you listen to before a game?
Oh, yeah. I'm on aux, so I kind of play whatever the team wants, but I like a lot of rap, like Little Baby and stuff like that.
I have heard a Little Baby, so yeah. You've had a great career. Who's the best player you've played against in your career?
Jason Singleton from Columbus Academy, he's pretty good. Or when I played AAU, I played Marcus Johnson. He was pretty good.
You have a favorite pro or college player that you kind of like to follow?
Drive down with 5 seconds left.
I'm a LeBron fan. Just I like his story, and like he's from Ohio, so I like LeBron.
I mean, you've had many memories playing in high school. What's your best memory so far in your high school career?
Probably when I transferred back sophomore year, Fredericktown, and we won a KMAC championship here. That was pretty special to me to come back with my brothers and win a KMAC championship.
Teammates.
All right.
If you're kind of all tightened up, what's a guy that can relax you and make you laugh?
Brody Davis. He's kind of our. Even though he's not out there with us right now, he's kind of our key guy. He's still around cracking jokes, making us laugh. So he's a good dude. Good dude to rely on.
You mentioned the summer, that you were able to get stuff done early.
Yeah.
But even now, like during the season, what do you kind of do to relax and maybe just get your mind off of basketball for a few hours?
Typically, after basketball's done and stuff, I usually like to go home and play Xbox with the guys. We all get on and game at night, so that's pretty fun.
All right, the big question is you tried to get a cheat answer on before we did, but what would be one word that Coach Dibbling would describe you if I said, Coach Dibbling, give me one word that describes Gavin Toombs?
Oh, shoot. I can't even tell you. I don't know.
It's got to be something good.
Probably maybe resilient. That's a good word.
That's a good word.
That's a good word.
We're right after the first year. You guys had a big win. Any New Year's resolutions that you have?
You know what? I really haven't set any New Year's resolutions. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
I haven't, but if it was anything, maybe, you know,
Another KMAC championship.
another KMAC championship. Yeah, that would be nice. Maybe go undefeated, something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gavin, thanks for spending time
Yeah,
with us
thank you.
around the
Appreciate
arena.
it.
Greatly
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck. Gavin's Freddies are a big favorite to repeat as KMAC champions this year, heading a veteran varsity group of all juniors and seniors. They'll be in action next on Friday when they host the Trojans in the Freddyburg rivalry. As we close this edition of the Joe Show, we do it on a very sad note for many of us in the basketball community and the entire North Central Ohio sports arena. This past week, longtime coach Steve Gray passed away unexpectedly from a medical emergency. Steve was a longtime coach in the area, beginning his coaching career at Buckeye Central as an assistant, and then began a great head coaching career at Ridgedale, followed by stops at Lexington, Colonel Crawford, and Norwalk. Coach Gray, as he's known by most of us, won over 400 games in his coaching career and had several outstanding teams at Lexington, but it was at Norwalk where he made his mark as one of the best coaches in the state of Ohio. In 2014, he led the Truckers to a 29-1 season and a Division II state championship. Coach Gray was known in the coaching ranks for his great preparation of his teams and the multitude of offensive sets that his teams would execute at an extremely high level. However, more importantly than his coaching expertise, Steve was a great friend to many of us, not only in the coaching fraternity, but also to many outside the coaching ranks, especially to many of his former players. Although Steve will be remembered for his many wins his teams had, and of course the 2014 state championship, he will best be remembered for his kindness and generosity to all those he came in contact with. There have been many stories shared over this past week that have made us smile and laugh, but there have been many tears shed too. We express our sincere condolences to Sue, his wife, his 3 daughters, Elise, Kelsey, and Kaylin, and to the entire Gray family. Coach Gray, you will be missed, but your legacy of loyalty, kindness, and generosity will live on through all those whose lives you have touched.